Well, it's been a domestic week here at the cottage, finding snapdragons and planting them in the garden. So we've been doing some gardening and making stuffed cabbage rolls for the first time, and even a rabbit hole story. So if you think you'd like to come to the kitchen and cook with us and sit out in the garden and watch us do some planting, please join us. And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about it. It's Wednesday, and I'm on my way back to Walmart to get those snapdragons. Lucy loves his snapdragons. Did you find out any more about whether they're annuals or perennials?
They're annuals, but lots of times they'll winter through. By the way, is this place we're going to Walmart?
That's where Debbie got hers, at Walmart. Now, they did not have them at Lowe's, so maybe we could try Armstrong. They'd be probably more expensive there. So we just came from the smog place. We had the car smogged, and we passed. And then we tried to stop at Midas because my brakes are squeaky, so it's a day of trying to fix the car. But we have to get someone to pick us up and take us home because it's going to take about 2 hours. So we go another day for that. Groundhog Day. Did you hear that we're having 6 more weeks of winter? Okay, we're out in the garden this morning, planting some of those things we picked up at Walmart yesterday.
See these bulbs? These are all iris, and they'll all be purple. And we've got probably 20 of them. Let me ask you a question. Do gardeners wear their hat backwards like this?
Oh yeah, looks good.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's good.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
There's a tag in here. It says front.
Sounds good. Okay, so you're putting all of them in here. We have 40 little stalks. So,
I don't think we have 40.
well, four in the, oh yeah, maybe 20. Okay, all planted.
Ready to go.
20 purple
It'll
irises.
be about 1.5 feet tall. Purple.
Should be pretty.
Ooh.
Okay, you ready for your next job? What do you want to do?
Anything you say, I'm there.
Why don't you call Micah and see if he can drill some holes in our new, those rectangular things. And maybe ask him something about whether he can saw off those water jugs. What do you want to do with those?
Put the tomato plants in there.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Walmart, huh? These are some of the snapdragons that we bought yesterday. A 4-pack, each one for $3.44 at Walmart. And I have everything from purple to white, pink, red, yellow. They're beautiful. So Moosey and I are planting these today, and we're planting them in these long 36-inch planters that will go on the back wall in between the bougainvillea, which look terribly scanty right now. Look at one of my other purchases yesterday. A beautiful, beautiful hydrangea, purple hydrangea, still with more buds to come. And I have to find a nice big pot. As you know, our garden is mostly pots because we couldn't deal with the weeding of former years. So Matthew did put the black visqueen down and all the bark, and we just have tons of pots. With all the rain this past season, though, the weeds have overtaken my pots. So we're in the process of redoing the garden. But I have this, and I have one over there left over from last year that somehow came through the winter. Now it is only the beginning of February, so I can't have any more frost. These are susceptible to the frost. So we did pretty well, I think, for a start on a nice sunny day. See this ginormous box? Huge box, okay? It's huge. It arrived a couple of weeks ago, from Walmart. As a matter of fact, 2 boxes like this. And Micah carried them up and said, do you have, what did you order in these things? I said, you know, I can't think of anything that we ordered. But it was from Walmart, who I do order things from time to time, but mostly clothes, a few other things. So I opened it up, and inside...
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Was there really a rabbit inside that box?
Moosey is referring to my rabbit holes, and this is definitely a
Looks
rabbit
like a
hole.
rabbit hole to me.
I know. I knew you were going to say that. This is a rabbit hole story, but I think it's funny. And anyway, inside were 4 of these giant water bottles, very nice with handles and everything. Look at them all. And the other box, just as big, only had 1. So 5 of all of these gorgeous big water bottles. So I thought, these things, I don't want them hanging around. I have enough stuff hanging around here. What are we going to do with them? I didn't want to...
Could live in there.
It could be a good rabbit hole, as Moosey says. They've been sitting here, and I thought, well, maybe I can give some to Matt or some to Micah. But Moose came up with a great idea. He said, let's cut the top off and use them for our new tomato plants this year. Fill them with dirt, have Micah drill some holes in the bottom. Voila! What a good idea. So that's what we're doing with these things. I don't think we're going to plant 5 tomato plants, probably 3. At first I wasn't too pleased with the look of them, but maybe Shani could paint some cute little scenes on here, or maybe they'll look cute just with the dirt.
Bunnies.
What?
She could paint some bunnies on there.
Oh, she could paint some bunnies on here for my bunny hole story. So that's what's clogging up my garden right now, but that's okay too. Okay, Micah took the tops off these. I'm gonna put some tape around the top. They're a little scratchy. Left the handles and nice holes drilled in the bottom. So these are all ready for our tomato plants. They're looking good. Lucy is laying out the Snapdragons according to colors, mixing them up. They're gonna look great when these bougainvilleas start to bloom. Should be beautiful. Lavender is still doing beautifully with all that water that we had in the rain.
Okay, this is a red, fragrant hybrid tea. And this is a yellow, fragrant hybrid tea.
I love the color of that one. We don't have a yellow. Really nice. And these were $8.44, I think, right? Something like that. $8.97 at Walmart. I just need 2 nice big pots. But I love the fact that they're fragrant.
So you make a mound in the middle of the pot of soil. And you take this and you spread the roots out and you kind of send them around the mound and fill in with your dirt. So your roots are already looking around saying, oh, this is cool, I'll stay here.
So these are the bare root roses, 2 beautiful colors. Full sun, fragrant, and zone 6 to 10. I don't know what we are here, but we can grow roses. And we plant them in the pots, of course. Well, I think I'm going to go in now. So I think we're making some headway in the garden. And tonight, I think I might make a stuffed cabbage recipe. I was going to do that last night, but instead I went to the store to get some more cabbage. I didn't have enough cabbage leaves. And I found some great ribs. Moose wanted ribs, so that's what we had last night. Well, here we are in the kitchen getting ready to make stuffed cabbage rolls. And what I'm stuffing them with is not beef. I have a pound of 93% lean ground turkey in here. And in here I've also put, I believe, half a cup of diced onions. I will be putting in rice, 1 cup of rice, cooked rice, and I've just used the minute rice. And I'm going to put in a teaspoon of minced garlic, and then some of my little spices. It called for fresh parsley, which I do have outside, but I don't want to go out and pick it, so I'm going to use some parsley from here. And also, I always like to throw in a little basil, or Moose isn't wild about basil, but I love it. And then for the sauce, I will be using just a jar of marinara sauce. According to my mother's recipe, and from what I have read in other recipes, the traditional sauce for stuffed cabbage rolls has brown sugar in it, in the tomato sauce, and also some red wine vinegar. It's supposed to be a sweet and sour style sauce. So I will be adding some brown sugar and some red wine vinegar to the marinara, which I will put in the bottom of a pan and then on the top. Now these cabbage rolls, I had a little trouble. I did go out late yesterday to buy a head of cabbage because my other one was too tiny. I think you really have to be careful. I'm gonna put my apron on first. I think you really have to be careful in picking your cabbage, and I'll tell you why. If the leaves are not regular shaped leaves, and you have a funny kind of a squiggly cabbage, which I guess I bought, you won't get those nice big round even leaves. You do have to tear a couple off the top first. And there is a secret to removing the leaves from the cabbage. What you do is you put them in hot boiling water for a couple of minutes to soften them. And I've done that with all these. I'll show you here. I have about 8 or 10 soft cabbage leaves here. And there's something I'm going to be doing. And the reason you soften them is because when you stuff and you roll, you want the leaves to be pliable. I really did not luck out with leaves. You can see some of mine are torn, some are smaller, and I'm just gonna have to do. Now, do you see this hard part in the top of the cabbage leaf? We're gonna cut a V in every single one because that's the hard part of the cabbage that was near the core, and we don't need that in order to stuff them. So I do have some very irregular ones here. Some of my little rolls might be tiny or small, some might be regular, we'll see, but you do need to soften them in the boiling water first. My mother did say that. Here we go with the mixing part. You know, I originally thought maybe you had to put some breadcrumbs or panko in here, but they don't want you to do that. So right now I'm breaking up the lean turkey. I always like to use turkey when I can. Moosey prefers the beef, but he can never tell the difference, especially when I use it in chili and casseroles too. Now I've got the onions mixed in. Now I'm going to take the rice, a cup of rice to 1 pound, and supposedly this will stuff 12 cabbage rolls. I might not get 12. I don't know whether I have 12 leaves here or not. And I'm using, by the way, a 9 by 13 pan. Now, I also am going to put a nice heaping teaspoon of the minced garlic in because that's going to give it some flavor. And my parsley, well, I'm going to put some basil in. There we go. You know, I put red pepper flakes in my minestrone soup, and I sent some up to Micah. He loves our soups. Here's the parsley. And he said that probably was one of the best soups I made. It had such a great taste. And I think the secret was, this is the parsley, by the way, that I'm putting in. The secret was the red pepper flakes. This is a beautiful spoon that Bill gave me for Christmas from Williams in Sonoma. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's do this. Now you can also add your salt and pepper now too. The rice is going to help hold it all together. This is probably one of my better leaves on top. Now you see how nice and pliable it is, and I'm going to come up close to show you the part that I'm going to cut out. Now, do you see this cabbage leaf? Do you see this core right here? I'm going to make about a 2-inch V cut. Cut this out right here in a V, and this will make it easier to roll. So this is what I've broken up, this little V. Take that out and we will get rid of it. First I'm going to use Pam. I'm going to spray it on the bottom of my pan and then put some of the tomato sauce here. I have not put in my vinegar and my brown sugar yet, so I will do that now. Poured the sauce, marinara, in here, and I'm going to add some brown sugar, and I would say it's about 2 teaspoons full. Maybe I should put a little more in just to get that sweet and sour. It's the stevia, which has no calories, a teeny bit of sugar, but trying to save my calories here. And I'm going to put the red wine vinegar in. I don't know how much that comes to, but we'll see. I'm going to stir that up. Maybe give it a taste. I think it could use more vinegar, so I'm going to pour a little more vinegar in. You want to make it taste different, more sweet and sour. Now we're ready to pour some of this in the bottom of the pan. They say to put half in the bottom of the pan and then reserve the other half to put on top of the cabbage rolls when they're all ready to go. Have to be so careful with these leaves. Here's where I cut the V, right here, and that's going to be my starting point. So I'm going to take, this is the first time I've ever made these, so you're seeing me do this for the first time. So I'm rolling it. It does stick together nicely. The rice is helping it. I think I need it a little bigger. I'm going to show you about, this is probably my biggest cabbage here, so I'm going to make this one a little bigger. And I do have a bunch of stuff here. I might have some left over. You cook these for almost an hour and a half at 350 because you want to make sure that the meat is fully cooked. Let me show you about how big this is. Okay, see how nicely it's stuck together? So I would say it's maybe 3 inches long. The rest of them probably won't be this big. I put it in the middle of my leaf, and you fold one side over first, then the second. Try and get the ends in, and you roll it all the way up. Now, that's sort of good. Sort of, except for a little rip. So I'm going to put that in. We're going to line these up. I'll do one more. Okay. See how small they are? Maybe here's a better one. Here's one here. No. Maybe this one. I'm going to be having small cabbage rolls. Oh, this is a biggie here. Okay, this is a good size. That's probably what you're going to want. When you buy your cabbage, make sure that I'm going to cut that V right here. I think I've already started it, so I have a garbage pail over there, so it's okay. Okay, here we go. I love the way they stick together. This is exciting since I'm doing this for the first time. I think this is a Polish dish, isn't it? Starting at the V, fold in the sides. Ooh, this one's working better. Ooh, nice one. Oh, this is a good one, and it's a big fat one too. Yay! I'm proud of myself working with these defective leaves. Now this is a small one. This is only half a leaf. Actually, this one went better than the others. I'm going to show you this small one. A lot of pictures that I've seen have the ends open. So see how nicely that one went? And your leaves do have to be pliable. So don't forget that first step of putting them in the boiling water for a couple minutes. I will finish up here and then show you when I get them all made. Now they're ready to go into the oven. I probably could have used a smaller pan. I don't know why, probably because I didn't have enough for 12. And I can't see, maybe I made them too big, so I was probably going to have to cook for an hour and a half, which is what is recommended, just to make sure all the meat is cooked well. So this is what it looks like. They're not too bad. Two tiny ones, but the rest of them are pretty good. I think the secret to this dish is getting the right cabbage that doesn't have irregularities in its leaves, but that's kind of hard to figure. So try and get a nice big round hard cabbage. And they say when you cook it, you should first put the whole cabbage, immerse it in water and soften the whole thing. Then take it out and cut it right at the stem, so that all the leaves will fall off evenly, hopefully. And then if you still have to soften them, put them in some boiling water for a minute or something, maybe less. But I think that's the secret of cutting the cabbage. The rolling, oh, you know what? If you don't have enough in a leaf or one starts to rip, take another bit from another piece of cabbage and just kind of put it in there and it'll fold up with the rest of them. Now that they're all in the pan, I am going to put the rest of the sauce all over the top. And now it's ready for the oven. I'm going to set my timer for an hour, which is all they go to. Well, I've set it for 1 hour, and then I will check it, and it's at 350, and then I will probably put it in for another half hour or more just to make sure. Well, it's been a domestic type of a day, a lot of gardening, a lot of this. I had some of my makeup hauls that I bought at Walmart at the beginning of the week to show you, but I don't think we'll have time in this one. So I have some nice brushes, some cleansing facial pads, and a lip liner, which I've never had before and have never done before. I don't know whether it makes a difference or not, but maybe I'll do a get ready with me with the new tools next time. I will remember to show you what these look like when they're finished. The last time with my souffle, we were so excited to eat it that I totally forgot to take a picture, so I will show you. I have a little more wet tomato sauce that I'm going to pour on top here. I looked online to see what you serve with cabbage rolls, and there were several suggestions, from bean salads to chunky rye bread to cucumber salads to all sorts of unusual things, German spätzle. So we chose, Moosey decided he'd have a cucumber salad, so that's what I'm serving with it. So I'll plate now, and then we'll eat. I don't know how they're going to taste. I hope they're good. Had a little trouble with the leaves, and you know what I forgot to put in? The egg. 1 egg is supposed to help bind it up. But do you know what? They bound beautifully, so I don't know. But Mary of Mary's Nest, where are you? Do you have some suggestions on making cabbage rolls? Let me know, sweet Mary. With some balsamic vinegar and olive oil, and well, I want to thank you all for watching and joining us on this little journey of ours. And I especially want to thank you for all your heartfelt sentiments about our dear dog, Shasta. I read every one and wish I could have responded individually to you all. So until our next video, well, maybe we'll do a little mini makeup haul and a get ready with me, or who knows. As the day goes, something happens, and that's what we talk about. I love you all. Thank you again. God bless us all.